back to Say It Simple. Can you believe we're at episode 10 already? We've hit double digits. If you've been with me since episode 1, you know we covered lots of things. But today we're turning the spotlight inward. We're talking about a betrayal, a hearse, a crime where the victim and the perpetrators share the same toothbrush. I'm so happy and so excited about this episode. I'm talking about the promises we make to ourselves and then living together like a piece of gum that lost its flower. You know the ones I'm starting to diet on Monday, I'll stop scrolling Instagram at 10 p.m. I'm going to finally start a project. We make these vows with the passion of a Shakespearean actor and then we break them with the casual indifference of a cat knocking a glass of a table. Why we're like this? Why is our own word to ourselves the cheapest currency in our lives? Let's break it down simply. Let's see the scene. It's 11 p.m. on a Sunday. You just watched a motivational reel of a guy waking up at 4 a.m. to jump into an ice bath. Suddenly, you feel like that surge of new me energy. You grab your journal, you write, tomorrow I'll wake up and run 5 miles, meditate for 20 minutes, and eat nothing but steamed broccoli and the tears of my enemies. In that moment, you're a superhero. You feel amazing. And why shouldn't you? Science tells us that when we set a goal, our brain releases a hit of dopamine as we've already achieved it. You're getting a success high while lying on your couch in your pajamas eating potato chips. It's the ultimate life hack. You get the reward without the word. But then, 7 a.m. arrives, the sun is aggressively bright, the room is cold, and that 11 p.m. superhero has vanished. In their place is a tired, grumpy human being who just wants a bagel. This is what the researchers call the intention behavior gap. It's the Grand Canyon of the human psyche. We are excellent at intending, but we're mediocre at doing. We treat our future selves like they are different people. In fact, fMRI studies have shown that when people think about their future self, the brain lights up in the same way it does when thinking about a total stranger. When you promise yourself you'll run 5 miles tomorrow, your brain thinks, yeah, that sounds like a great idea for that. That's a stranger. I hope he enjoys cardio now. Pass the remote. We often think that breaking a promise to ourselves is a victim's cry. So, what if I didn't go to the gym? Who did I hurt? I didn't lie to my mom. I didn't skim my boss. But here's the cold hard truth. You're training yourself to not believe a word you say. Imagine a friend named Gary. Gary promises to help you move on Saturday. Gary doesn't show up. Gary promises to buy you lunch to make for it. Gary forgets his wallet. He says he'll call you at 6 and he disappears for 3 days. By the fourth time, Gary makes a promise. Do you want to listen? No. You roll your eyes, you say, classic Gary. When you break promises to yourself, you become your own Gary. You develop classic me syndrome. I'm going to start reading tonight, classic me. I'm going to save my money this month, classic me. As the philosopher and the psychologist William James famously wrote, every small stroke of virtue or of vice leaves it. Never so little care. So every time you keep a promise, you strengthen the self-truth muscle. Every time you break one, you're essentially gaslighting yourself. You're telling your subconscious, my intentions are jokes, my goals are just suggestions. I'm not a person of my word. And that, my friend, is where the identity crisis begins. If you can't trust a person in the mirror, who can you trust? Have you ever been on a diet and you accidentally eat one small cookie And then you think, well, I've already ruined the day. I might as well eat the whole box of cookie, a pizza, and a literal bucket of fried chicken. I'll start again on Monday. Researchers actually have a technical name for this. They call it the what the hell hack. Yeah, seriously. It's a cycle of indulgence, regret, and more indulgence. You make a promise, diet, you fail slightly, you feel like a failure, and have the humans soothe the feeling of failure? We eat more cookies. It's a comedy of errors, except nobody is laughing. The humor, and it's that we act like Monday is a magical rest button that deletes the calories from the previous Thursday. We treat the calendar like it's a video game where we can just hit restart level, but life doesn't have a restart button, it only has a pause and play. When we break a promise, we usually do it because we set the bar at perfect, and since perfect is impossible for anyone who isn't a programmed AI, we failed. We failed, we quit. We often fail because we make promises based on should rather than want. I should learn fighting. I should lose weight because my cousin's wedding is coming. I should be more productive because everyone on LinkedIn posting about their 4 a.m. routines. Should is a terrible motivator. Should is the sound of someone else's voice in your head. When you make a promise based on a should, you're essentially trying to fulfill on a contract you never signed. And the book starts with why Simon Sinek argues that people don't buy what you do, then buy why you do it. The same applies to you. If your why for a promise is because I'm supposed to, you will break it the moment you get fired. If your why is because it makes me feel powerful and capable, you're much more likely to stick to it when the Monday morning gremlin arrives. So, how do we fix this? How do we stop being the Gary of our own lives? We have to lower the strikes. We have to make promises so small that it's actually more work to break them than to keep them. Instead of promising to write a book, promise to write a sentence. Instead of promising to clean the whole house, promise to clean one drawer. Instead of promising to never eat sugar again, promise not to eat sugar for the next 20 minutes. I call this the micro contract. When you keep a micro contract, you get the same success hit as a big one, but without a burnout. You are teaching your brain, look, I said I'll do a thing that I did it. I'm a person who does things. It sounds silly. It sounds funny to celebrate cleaning one drawer while the rest of your kitchen looks like a crime scene, but you aren't cleaning the drawer for the sake of the drawer. You're cleaning it to prove yourself that you are reliable. Here is the part we get a little deep. Why are we so hard on ourselves when we break a promise? If your best friend broke a promise to you, you'll probably be annoyed, but you'll eventually forgive them. You'll say, it's okay, life got in the way, let's try again. But when we break a promise to ourselves, we go into internal dictator mode. We call ourselves lazy, pathetic, or weak. We use words ourselves that we would never use on a stranger. Humor is a great tool here. Next time you break a promise, instead of spiraling into shame, just say, oh, there I go again, classic human behavior. I've been hacked my own biology. Forgiveness isn't about letting yourself off the hook, it's about acknowledging that you are working in progress. A broken promise isn't a character flaw, it's a data point. It's telling you that your system is not working. Maybe the goal was too big, maybe the timing was wrong, maybe we're just really, really tired. Since this is our 10th episode, I want to ask you a question. Think back to episode 1. What was the one thing you told yourself you'd start doing after listening to this episode? Did you do it? If the answer is no, don't turn off the podcast in shame. I'm not disappointed. I don't have tear ducts, but I do have logic, and logic dictates that today is a brand new data entry point in my brain. So the promise we keep to ourselves define our Im- image. Oh, so silly. I can talk, but I should be okay. And your self image is the ceiling of your potential. You'll never rise higher than the opinion you of yourself. If you think you're a quitter, you'll quit. If you think you are a person who keeps saying words, you'll find a way. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We met at 11 p.m. superhero. We avoided the what the hell effect, and we learned why we shouldn't be Gary. I don't like Gary. Here is my challenge for you for this milestone's 10th episode. I want you to make a single task promise for today. Not for the week, not for the year, just for today. Pick one thing you've been promising yourself you will do. I could be as small as I will drink a glass of water before my next coffee, or I'll put my phone in the other room for 10 minutes. So just do it, and then I want you to literally, psychologically pat yourself on the back. So, really, it feel weird. Your roommates might look at you funny, but just do it. Tell your brain, we keep our promise. We're back in business. Thank you for being part of the Set Simple journey for 10th episode. It's been an honor to be in your ears, helping you navigate the beautiful mass of being human. Remember, life is complicated. Let's keep it simple.